Speaker, and from Edo State, political movements, vision of 26 years of uncomfortable second. Since June 2023, under President Tinubu's stewardship and the 10th National Assembly, we launched an 8-point legislative agenda, fully aligned with the renewed hope agenda. Within 2 years, we have reviewed 2,263 bills. Of these, 65.3 have passed second reading, while 186 have been successfully passed. A total of 51 bills have received presidential assent, marking an unprecedented milestone for any president in his first 2 years. Congratulations on that, Mr. President. Our legislative efforts have yielded measurable progress on multiple fronts. In security, we allocated 6.11 trillion, representing 11.1% of the 2025 budget, to the security sector. The Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act 2023, signed by the President, has set Nigeria on the path to self-reliance in arms production and logistics. Similarly, the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons Act 2024 has tightened regulatory loopholes in arms control. It is expected to significantly reduce the illicit circulation of small arms and light weapons across the country. On the economic front, we supported the removal of subsidies and the unification of foreign exchange windows. We courageously passed legislation targeted at tax reforms. Cumulatively, these actions, along with the bold decision of the President, are boosting investor confidence, increasing federal revenue, and augmenting state allocations.
We gather not to mourn injustice, but to honor resilience. We observe not the triumph of politicians, but the enduring faith of the Nigerian people in democracy. A faith that survives betrayal, braved tear gas, defied armored tanks, endured silence, and still chose the ballot over the bullets. On June 12, the torch of the long march to freedom was lit. Nigerians stood up to say, our voice matters, our vote must count. However, the light was extinguished on June 24, 1993, when a first statement declared that the will of really expressed in the historic June 12 had been annulled. Tears, rage, and hope poured into the streets. Nigeria did not just lose an election. Nigeria lost her innocence. And across the country, the silence of shock was broken by the roar of resistance. The people rose, angry students marched, journalists spoke, mothers wailed, workers downed their tools, fathers stood before tanks, and young men and women whose only crime was believing in democracy laid down their lives. May their souls rest in peace. They died because they loved Nigeria. They loved Nigeria enough to fight for her soul. This was not just a rejection of, but the beginning of a national reawakening, signifying a rebirth as a reckoning.
At this point, I plead for your indulgence so that I may put a terrible rumor to bed. To those who ring the alarm that the APC is intent on a one-party state, I offer you a most personal promise. While you are alive, as a result of the panic, it rings an error. At no time in the past nor any instance in the present, and at no future junction shall I view the notion of one-party state as good for Nigeria. I've never attempted to alter any political party registration with INEC. Equally, my dear friends and colleagues, we cannot blame anybody seeking to bail out of a sinking ship, even without. Look at my political history. I will be the last person to advocate such a scheme. In year 2003, when the then governing party tried to sweep the nation clean of political opposition through plot and manipulation, I was the last progressive governor standing in my region. In their number, they boasted. In all their numbers, they boasted of ruling, not only governing Nigeria, for the next half century or more. Where are they? Yet, my ally has been induced into defeat. My adversary held all the man could carry. Even with all of that, they could not control my destiny. I could not control our national destiny because fate is written from the above. On assuming office, my team and I moved to reform our ailing economy. We introduced fundamental reforms to correct structural imbalances that prevented maximum growth. We are already seeing results. The GDP grew by 3.4% in 2024, with quarter four hitting 4.6%, the highest quarter growth in over a decade. Inflation is easing gradually, steadying the price of food staples like rice and beans. Our net have increased fivefold, and the Naira has stabilized. Our payment of our balance is positive. Our sovereign credit rating is improving, and we continue to promote oil and non-oil gas exports. State do not need to go about borrowing to pay salary. In less than over 100,000 a year, including 35,000 civil servants, have benefited from affordable consumer credit through the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, enabling them to purchase vehicles, light up, and improve their well-being, and purchase life essentials. I announced the conferment of posthumous honors of CAFR on Kudirat Abiola. The era in 12 struggle. I also confer posthumous honor on Sheikh Musa Yadra, GCFR, and Professor Humphrey Nwosu, CON, Masen, OON, Alaja Sawaba Gambo, CON, Dr. Edwin Madunagu, CON, Dr. Alice Ibu, CON, Shibela Ige, CFR, Ruben Fasoranti, CFR, Senator Ayafasami, CON, Senator Polycarp Mwite, CON, and Dr. Popo, CON. I also have the honor to confer on Professor Wole Soyinka, GCON,